So let me just stop sharing my screen. And let's go ahead and get started. So just want to say hi to everybody. We're going to get started, and welcome to the OUSD webinar on YouTube for teachers. So we just want to reemphasize that the theme of our webinars this week is getting set up, getting started with distance learning. So a lot of you are just taking the week to explore, get ready, learn about resources. And we wanted to schedule this webinar for YouTube for teachers this week because YouTube is something that everybody knows about and everybody uses it in some way, just about, right? Teachers, students, families. And YouTube is really easy to use. It works well on phones. You can create your own content and upload it. So it's a very democratic kind of platform. So it's a really fantastic fit for distance learning, and a lot of teachers have been using it. I loved watching, there was a video from Miss Kemp from Bridges Academy taking her dog for a walk, and there are videos that are just as simple as something like that. And that's just a way to connect with students in this time of social distancing when we can't be with our students, okay? So today, Sam Solomon is going to be leading this webinar, and I want to just take a moment to spotlight Sam because I'll tell you what, 11 days ago, I had never heard of her. I had no idea who she was at all. And Nicole Knight, who's the executive director of ELMA, she mentioned her and said, hey, there's this teacher librarian over at Life who is doing amazing things with distance learning, and you should check her out. And so I connected her via email. And in the last 11 days, she's just become an invaluable partner to me. And I think to all of us, she's her work is amazing. She's super organized. She's just got a gift for explaining things. So I just want to say thank you, Sam, for your partnership, and also for just contributing and really making yourself available and sharing your knowledge with everybody. So I'm going to turn it over to you right now. And I'm looking forward to learning more about YouTube for teachers. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, thank you, Kenneth. That was so nice. And I'm so happy to be helping with this. I feel like, you know, as a librarian, as a teacher librarian, like this is what we've trained for, and I'm so happy to help as much as I can. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And the first thing that I'm going to do is just remind you that on Teacher Central, sorry, I have so many windows. On Teacher Central, if you do need support, if you're looking for a little bit of additional help and like in a one-to-one kind of setting, you can make an appointment with Kelleth or I. I know that my appointment slots for Monday are all full, and I'm so excited about that. I'm really looking forward to being able to help people with like their specific personal questions. I'm also doing my best to respond to emails as quickly as I can and be as helpful as I can that way. When I say that I like Googling help content, I genuinely mean it. So then now I will talk about what I'm supposed to talk about, which is YouTube and distance learning. And the link to these slides, which is a view-only link, is at tinyurl.com/OUSD YouTube. And that web address, I'm going to change this slide, but that web address is on each and every single slide in this presentation. So don't panic if you miss it on this slide. You'll be able to see it as we go. Also, as I'm talking, I'm not going to be like monitoring the questions super closely, but we will have time for questions and do our best to respond to them at the end. And I know that Kelleth is monitoring the questions really closely in the Q&A feature of Zoom. So I want to just start by saying, gosh, you guys, we're all being asked to do crazy things that we've never been asked to do before, and you're not alone, and we're doing our best to figure it out together. And there's lots of useful help content out there. So OUSD's Teacher Central distance learning site that Kelleth has made is really incredible, and there's a lot of really useful content there, including links to all the webinars. One question I did see was the Brain Pop webinar recorded? Yes, all the webinars are recorded, and I know the Brain Pop link isn't up yet, but I'm guessing it'll be up by the end of today. YouTube's help content written by professional help content writers is really good. One thing that Kelleth mentioned was that lots of people have been saying their videos have been stuck in processing. So that's one piece of help content we really wanted to highlight there's an answer to. EdPuzzle is an app that I'm going to talk about a little bit at the end of this segment. And this slide is in 3 places in this slideshow, so don't feel scared. Lots of help content. Just to briefly talk about why YouTube, it's already part of our lives, just like Kelf said, and people ages 14 to 23, Gen Z, our students, have ranked YouTube as the highest preferred learning tool. And I think that's kind of all I needed to know to start my own YouTube channel for my library earlier this year. And this is a quote that I just pulled out of an article, right? It's instinctive for our students to look to YouTube to learn how to do things and to look for explainer videos, because it's easy to follow, because they can pause it, they can rewind it, they can find different examples of the same explainer content. And so even if we weren't practicing distance learning right now, this is a really great opportunity to reach students on a platform that they like, that they relate to, that they enjoy using, that they intuitively go to. This is what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to start by talking about using content from other creators. I'm going to recommend some channels. There are like millions of YouTube channels, so these are just some that I think are great. Creating your own content, YouTube and your iPhone. The YouTube iPhone app is really, really great. Once you have that content, how can you share it with students via playlists? And also using EdPuzzle to take your work with YouTube and your students a little bit farther. So when you're using content from other creators, and creators is just YouTube's kind of jargon for like people who put stuff on YouTube, you can subscribe to a channel. So if there's a channel or a creator that you love, like Sesame Street, you can click subscribe on their homepage, and new videos are going to automatically show up on your YouTube homepage, which is like this page right here. You'll also get notifications when that channel puts out new content. I have done the best I can to always link the help content from YouTube in each slide. So if you feel confused, this is the link. Everything underlined is the link. But subscribing to channels is a great way to stay up to date with creators that you really like or that are really useful to your class. Some of the suggested channels, my background is as a middle school teacher, and now I work in a middle and high school setting. So lower elementary, I did my best. Kelly gave me the thumbs up on these though. Khan Academy Kids is actually for really littles. I saw there was somebody from Burbank Preschool where my friend Kathy Sparagon works, we Miss Sparagon. So YouTube, Khan Academy for Kids is a really good one for those littles. They do a lot of circle time videos, and they do lots of, it's really focused on kind of like that kind of classroom environment type stuff that I think we're probably all missing. Sesame Street's YouTube channel features all of your favorite monsters. They have monster yoga playlists. They have like, you know, more educational content like numbers and colors, and playlists for each character as well. And then Khan Academy was one that I put on this slide because I always think of it more as like a high school, middle school tool, but their instructional videos and their explainer videos really go down to the most basic math, including like shapes and identifying shapes. So Khan Academy is one that I could have put on every slide, but I wanted to just highlight that it also belongs on this slide for lower elementary school. Crash Course Kids. So this is more thinking about upper elementary school. It's a science channel, and they have videos about like gravity, food chains, space, all these, like all kinds of different videos. I just want to point out that each of these images, if you're looking at the slides yourself, they're a link to that YouTube channel, and you can click on it and you can click subscribe, and then you're subscribed to that channel. Vocabulary, it really makes like earwormy songs. They're so catchy about all kinds of topics, including science, math, social studies. They have some really great videos. I was an English teacher, and they had some really great videos about literary devices that really get stuck in your head. They're great. And then Math Antics features math videos that are like, they're created to be sort of easy to understand, explainer videos. They often use like a digital whiteboard in their videos. So they have playlists for numeracy, for arithmetic, for fractions, percents, ratios. So kind of all of those basic building blocks of math that are so, so important. Secondary, Above the Noise is produced by KQED, and it's really, really high quality. It's like sort of a newsy vibe about topics like, should the voting age be lowered to 16? Should hate speech be protected as free speech? They do like all kinds of topics, including social justice, including health and well-being. And they also provide a lot of sourcing in their videos, which as a librarian, I really love. And as a teacher, I think is great modeling for our students. Lots of us probably have already used TED Talks in our class, but you know, there's so many like range in topics for TED Talks, and the TED website also provides like a transcript of a lot of the talks that are listed on their YouTube channel. So that can be really useful for students. And then Crash Course has videos on, you know, everything from physics to philosophy, right? They have world history playlists, computer science playlists, study skills playlists, all of those things. And some of the videos feature John Green, who's a great writer and a great human. And they're really like quick paced videos. Sometimes I recommend watching them at a little bit of a slower pace. You can set in the settings. Kelly, should I pause and look at questions?
I'm keeping up with questions pretty well, so go ahead. Yep.
Cool. So a lot of people mentioned creating your own channel. That's so exciting. That was something to me that felt really scary. And then earlier, just like literally in February, I was at a conference and I saw, you know, that evidence that our students really want to use YouTube. And I felt like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take the plunge. And so it's really easy to do. You just sign into YouTube on your computer or on your phone I used my OUSD Google account. And then like anything, like you'll click upload a video or post a comment, they'll be like, you have to create an account. And then they'll prompt you to create an account. The help content for that is here. I couldn't model it because I've already done it for you, or I've already done it. But it is truly really easy to do. It's just like logging in with your Google account like you would on basically every website at this point. Super, super easy. When we're thinking about creating your own content, this is kind of the flow on a computer, and I'll also show you the flow on a phone. So there's this on your YouTube, like when you go to YouTube, on the YouTube homepage, there's this little camera with a plus sign, and that's what you click on to begin the like upload your video or create content. This is how you upload a video. So sometimes you might record your video in advance on your phone. You might record it like a screen capture video because you're explaining a topic, and you just drag and drop that file right into here. It will ask you for some details, like the title of the video. You might want to put in like a kind of description of the video. One thing that's really important is that it will ask you how you want to publish the link. So if you publish the link as public, it's searchable on YouTube and anybody can find it, which is fine if that's what you want to do. Unlisted means that only people with the link can find it. So if you want to create videos that are really meant to be just between you and your students, unlisted is probably the way to go, because only people who have the link that you share can see those unlisted videos. And then sort of what you get is a home screen that looks like this, where you can see all of your YouTube videos that you've made, and you can add them to your own playlists. You can share them, you can edit them. One thing to name is that I know that sometimes we all watch YouTube videos and it has that little bar that says approved for OUSD. So make sure that when you see that bar, if it's a video that you want to use or a video you've created, that you click that. And then you do want to make sure that you either choose public or unlisted, because if you choose private, only you can see the videos that you upload. Your students won't be able to see them even if you share the link. And again, YouTube's help content on this is excellent and is linked here. Kelly, should I pause for questions or are we okay?
Yeah, maybe let's just take a quick look. I think we've got 7 open questions.
Yeah. Oh no, wait, can I see them? How can I see them? Oh, I don't think I can see them in screen share. So let me do that. Okay. Is there a way to organize your subscriptions on your homepage? On your YouTube homepage, there are like going across, and this is the same on everybody's. Oh, I know what this means. This is not what I thought it meant. Is there a way to organize your subscriptions on your homepage? I bet there is, but I don't know the answer to that question. I can look. I also had the same issue. Asked if I wanted to join another person's account.
I think that's just logging into this webinar.
Okay. Can a team of teachers collaboratively make a channel? Yes, definitely. You can absolutely all create a channel. What I would do is like I made a Gmail account for my library. So like Calvin Simmons Library at gmail.com. I used that to create my YouTube account. And so then you guys could not have to share each other's personal emails. Or you could have one person be in charge of uploading the videos, but I think it would be probably easiest to just share like an email account for it.
So are you saying, Sam, so is, just to clarify, so just create a separate Gmail account and share the username and password with all of the teachers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Is it possible to add EdPuzzle on Clever? That's a question for you, Mr. Kelleth.
Yes, it is. So I can take a look. I can take a look at that. So I'll make a note.
Can you change from unlisted to public? Yes, you can. And you do that on the screen that has kind of all of your videos. I'll show you that screen again in just a second. Do I put a link to each video in Google Classroom, or do I just put one link to my YouTube homepage? That's completely up to you. So you can certainly put a link to each video. You could actually create a playlist. So if you were like, oh, this is the playlist for week 2 of our class, you could just put a link to that playlist, which I'll show you how to make a playlist in just a second. Or you can always just link individually, definitely. What about use of music? Such a good question. Well, there are some great websites that have uncopywritten music. Purple Planet Music is the one that I usually use. If you're using music, it has to be either for fair use, right? Like it can be widely used, or it has to be music that you've created yourself. That's music. I see people asking about blocked YouTube videos. Yes, you can approve a channel for OUSD. Yes.
And there are some other issues about access and blocked YouTube videos. So I think we'll be talking about that a little bit more later on. Is that right, Sam?
Maybe. I don't. Yeah.
There was that issue that we were talking about yesterday.
Oh, about if your video's not uploading?
Yeah. Or if your video is not uploading, or, you know, so we'll just, we'll come back to that one.
Perfect. Do all channels have to be the same topic or theme? No. How many channels can you have? I think as many as you want.
Yeah, so let me just jump in with that one, because my experience is that if you're using your OUSD account, your OUSD account, that's your channel name, and you can't change that, because that's like an OUSD managed, like you can't change the name of it, and you can't, as in my experience, you can't add a channel. But if you are using a different Gmail account that's just like kind of your own, then you can create multiple channels, and you can have more customization. So just wanted to let you know, that's at least my experience.
And can we make a channel with our OUSD emails? It sounds like yes, but it's a little bit more limited.
Yeah, so with your OUSD email, that is your channel. You actually have a channel that exists even if you've never done anything like on YouTube. But that's your OUSD email address is your channel name. And as soon as you go to upload and you upload, then it just goes to that channel, which is your OUSD email address.
Yeah. And the last question here is about Screencastify. I'm going to come back to that question in just a second, I hope, or I plan to. So I'm going to go back into my slides and share my screen. And okay. So when we're talking about what kind of content should I create, right? Because I ran into this myself when I created my YouTube channel. I was like, I don't know what to put on there. Super popular are tutorial and explainer videos. And I think this is one thing that YouTube is like the go-to for our students, kind of as we saw in that slide about why YouTube. Tutorial and explainer videos about like, how do you do this thing? Are incredibly popular on YouTube. And so each of these are a link to sort of different options or different examples of like a screen share video, of a whiteboard video, a real and a virtual. When I do a screen share video, and I believe if I click on this, it'll take you to a video of mine on my YouTube channel, if it loads. Somebody was asking about Screencastify. And yeah. So that's an explainer video that I made for a partnership with a teacher at my school. I do recommend Screencastify. Screencastify is a Google add-on, a Chrome add-on that is super easy to use that allows you to record screencast videos on any computer, so even on a Chromebook. If you're using a Mac computer, you can definitely use QuickTime, which is what I typically use because I'm using a Mac. But Screencastify is incredibly easy to use, and it saves all of your videos automatically to a folder on your Google Drive, which makes them really easy to find as well. So it organizes for you. And I've used Screencastify a ton with teachers, and I've also used it a ton with students. And they're really good at using it. It's easy enough that students can also use it. Screencastify allows you to record your screen. Screencastify also allows you to do like a webcam recording like we're doing right now, and as well as I think just audio recordings. Digital whiteboards are another great option, particularly if you're doing something like math, right? So Zoom has a digital whiteboard in the screen share options. There are other options of digital whiteboards, but a digital whiteboard or a whiteboard type video, explainer video, is a great option of something you might record. Read alouds. Here I linked to OUSD Libraries YouTube page where they have a whole bunch of read alouds, and book talks. This is the book talk that I did. Direct instruction. So talking about narration over slides, that's another place where you might use Screencastify or QuickTime to record. This is a video, again, from my YouTube channel that is library orientation stuff where I'm just narrating over slides. So it's like very traditional direct instruction. And just to be really clear, you do not have to put up fancy edited videos. None of my videos are fancy. None of my videos are edited. I don't even have title slides. So it doesn't have to be a high barrier to entry, right? In fact, if you wanted, we'll talk about your phone in just a second, but if you want to just record yourself, providing a greeting to your class, that can also be really settling for students and doesn't require any kind of like special editing skills. Should I pause for questions or talk about phones? I'm going to talk about phones and then I'm going to pause for questions. So using YouTube and uploading things to YouTube from your phone is also super easy. It's the exact same like video camera plus sign. And then you have the option of uploading a video. So that would be like easiest if you like to record your videos on your phone. You can upload a video that's saved to your phone. You can go live. And then you can, record in that moment. And it's super easy to use that way. And then now I will look at the questions and stop screen share so I can see them. How can we become influencers? I wish I knew, Mark, honestly. I hope to make my dream job. Since we will be competing with great videos and YouTube influencers, what's the best tech to use? I mean, I think that if your purpose is really just connecting with your students, you don't have to use like anything super special. If you want to be really fancy, a good microphone is always a good place to start. Can you talk more about live streaming? Why would we do this rather than upload videos? If you want to interact with students synchronously, I guess a live stream would be good. I think uploading videos is actually the way to go because it allows your students to interact with videos asynchronously, which I just mean all, at different times. I think that's a lot more respectful of your time and of theirs, right? Because we know students are sharing devices, because we know students have, a variety of responsibilities at home. I think it's nicer to be able to just say, hey, I'm leaving this here for you, and you can access it when is right for you. Yes, I am saying Screencastify, and I will just type it in the chat. It's super, super easy to use. Screencastify. That's it. And if you search it, it's just a Chrome add-on. It's super, super easy to use. Do I recommend not using your OUSD account for YouTube? I don't use my OUSD account for YouTube. I use my library account for YouTube. I don't.
I would just add to that, you can use your OUSD account for YouTube, but really just use it for OUSD purposes. And you would just want to be very careful about what you're posting on there. You can have more than one channel with accounts, different accounts.
Some of my students have not been able to see the YouTube videos I put on my Google Classroom. Why can some kids see them and not others? Kelly, do you have an answer for that?
So we're actually looking into that issue, and Sam, I'm not sure if because I shared there was some troubleshooting steps that we could share around that. I'm not sure if we put a link to that.
It is in the help content. Yeah, on the help content slides. I'll show it.
But we're looking into that issue. We're aware of that.
Copyright issues on sharing videos found on the web. I'm not really sure what this question means. I'm really sorry. If it was your question, anonymous attendee.
Yeah, I would say, copyright videos. I mean, it's not your problem if it's all on the web and it's sharing. If it's something that's going to be an issue for the owner of the video or whoever posted it.
Yeah. I know that one thing that's coming up a lot, at least in library conversations, is about read alouds and like what's allowed and what's not allowed. If you didn't make it, don't worry about it. And if you did make it, then we can talk. How does one access the OUSD library channel? I think it's called OUSD Libraries. Rebecca, is that right? And so you would search for it like you would search for any channel on YouTube, just in that search bar. And then you can click subscribe. And they already have quite a number of subscribers, including some famous authors. How about adding subtitles or captions or more audio like music? You could use iMovie for that if you want to. I'm not sure what is like the best recommendation of if you don't have iMovie, like what would be another good program for that? Is it easy to edit video clips into compilations? How easy is it? I think it just depends on your comfort level. Like, I think if you're dropping them into iMovie, yeah, it's super easy. I don't have a ton of experience using not iMovie to edit, but I'm happy to look around for some other, like maybe more free video editing apps. Any Spanish channels? Yes, there are so many Spanish channels on YouTube. On Teacher Central, there are more recommendations than on these slides about YouTube channels. I just wanted to highlight a few that I thought were, particularly excellent and in a variety of subjects. But there are more recommendations on the Teacher Central YouTube page. Okay, back to screen share. Okay, cool. So now you've found and created great content to share with your students. What comes next? You can add a playlist to share with your students. So somebody had asked about if you should share individual links to videos in Google Classroom, or if it's better to share a link to your channel. You can always share a link to your channel. You can also share a link to playlists. So if you said, this is my week 2 of distance learning playlist, here it is, or this is our science playlist, here it is. A playlist is just a collection of videos. They can be a mix of your own videos and other videos that like other creators have made. And they're just a way of organizing kind of that like vast content on YouTube. I have 2 explainer videos that I've made that are here. They don't have sound, so if when you play them, you feel scared because there's no sound, don't feel scared, there's no sound. It's just, the first is just showing me screen grabbing, adding a video to my playlist. And I also am creating a new playlist in here. You can see I'm creating Lit Terms 2020. And the second video is just how you view and share your playlists. So you'll do that by clicking on those 3 bars up at the top and then choosing library. And then you do have to scroll down just a little bit to get to your playlists. And then you click on the arrow to share. These videos have no sound on purpose. They're embedded in the slides for you to see. And also YouTube's help content on how to do these things is here. And it's, of course, excellent. Kelsey was mentioning about videos that are stuck in processing mode or students can't see them. So that's a problem that does seem to be coming up for a lot of people. This is the best answer that we've found so far. And the best answer is here. So if videos are not playing in Google Classroom, the really short answer is have students clear their cookies. And how they do that is explained right here at the top right. They click on the 3 dots and they click cookies and remove all. And for some people that is working. And if that feels stressful and confusing to you, just ignore it for now. So I'm gonna kind of pivot into talking about EdPuzzle. Before I do that though, I do wanna look back at the questions one more time. Oh, I have to stop screen sharing. Do all these work on Windows 10 and webcam of PC? I think I'm a little bit confused about what the all these part of that question is referring to, but I believe that all of these things will work on PCs and Macs. There's a YouTube editor, which is really basic. Thank you so much, Michelle. You can edit videos within YouTube, it sounds like. Can your playlist be a compilation of individual videos and not subscriptions? Absolutely, yes. If you create an unlisted video, can a viewer show it publicly without you knowing it? They would have to have the link. And if a viewer shares the link, anybody with the link can view an unlisted video. So it isn't just a set group of people. It's anybody with the link. So if that link is shared really widely, then yes. So somebody else said, I'm just looking in the chat, you can record and edit videos within YouTube. Sounds like a yes. Thank you, Michelle. I'm gonna go back over to my slides. All right. So EdPuzzle is an app. Play my slides. Like slides, please. That you can use with YouTube. I'm a huge fan of EdPuzzle. I did all my library orientations using EdPuzzle 2 years ago, and I loved it. What is it? It's a space where teachers can assign videos to their class, and you can kind of further customize them with questions and voiceovers and comments. You can use YouTube videos, so all that excellent content that you found on YouTube, you can still use. Or you can upload videos directly to EdPuzzle. So that's another place that you might use Screencastify or another screen recording kind of app to record videos just for EdPuzzle. You get to view students' scores in a gradebook, and I just clicked, or I added this EdPuzzle rating from Common Sense Media because I think they do a really great job of explaining like sort of what it is, privacy stuff. They provide like reviews and testimonials from teachers and parents. I like how they do that. This is some screenshots of EdPuzzle. So this is the homepage for my library orientation class, and I can see like how many people have completed them, and I get sort of like the macro information about how people in my class are interacting with my videos. This is a gradebook page where I get sort of the zoom in on individual work. So how many minutes did each student spend with each video, and how did they do on the questions that I embedded? This is the content page where I can either create and upload my own content, or I can search for some pre-created content within EdPuzzle. That's one of the really nice things about EdPuzzle is like, just like there's already a million videos and creators on YouTube, a whole bunch of teachers from around the world have already logged into EdPuzzle and embedded questions into those videos for you. And any of that pre-created content also is editable. So you can pick up somebody's video and questions, and you can say, oh, I like questions number 1 and 2, but question 3 doesn't work for my class. I'm gonna delete it, or I'm gonna change it. EdPuzzle plays really nicely with Google Classroom. You can post assignments directly to Google Classroom. You can import your students from Google Classroom into EdPuzzle. One caveat about that is it doesn't automatically update. So if you have a new student enter your class, you do have to re-import them to EdPuzzle. You can add a co-teacher to EdPuzzle. So if you are working collaboratively with other teachers at your grade level, or you have a co-teacher, they can do that. Students can log in with Google. They can sync your grades between EdPuzzle and Google Classroom in the gradebook. EdPuzzle's help content about these things is here. I know that I'm sort of just glossing over that part. But I do just want to like really be clear that students can be added to your EdPuzzle class either via a join code, so just like how you push out a join code for Google Classroom, or you can import them. So you can send out the join code or post the join code in your Google Classroom, or you can import them yourself and post those assignments. And EdPuzzle's help content about that is also linked. If you want to look at EdPuzzle as if you were a student, then you are invited to my EdPuzzle. You are not obligated to try this. It's harder to live demo something like EdPuzzle, but you can click on this link or go to edpuzzle.com and you'll choose login and you'll choose I'm a student. And the join code for my class is right here. And you are welcome and invited to play with it as a student. EdPuzzle allows you to embed multiple choice and short answer questions. So you'll see a variety of those in the videos that I've posted for you to interact with. They also allow you to post notes as the teacher. So like kind of pausing the video and just saying, you know, something to clarify or something to reiterate, you'll see those as well. And again, help content. So I'm gonna go back over to the questions. And Kel, if you wanna chime in, if there's things that I've missed, please do.
So one thing, someone asked about making your own YouTube videos for beginners. I was wondering if could you go back to the slide with the iPhone screenshots?
Definitely.
So one thing that so I saw my wife's name come up. My wife is Laura Gonzalez, and she is teacher librarian at Melrose Leadership Academy, and that was something that she wanted to do. One of the things that she's doing every day is she's making her own videos and on the iPhone and posting those to YouTube. And it was something that she had never done before. She was kind of feeling intimidated about it. And that's the kind of thing that you can do from your phone. You don't even need to get into your computer. You don't need to do any kind of editing or use any kind of screencasting software, anything like that. Just within the YouTube app, and there's a YouTube app, and there's an YouTube app just for iPhone and Android. And it's really easy to just make a video on your phone and to upload it to YouTube, just like that. All you have to do is just be signed into your account. And so these are screenshots that are from the iPhone app. And so when you open up that iPhone app, that very first screenshot there with the blue arrow, if you tap on that, then that opens up that next screenshot that is in the middle there. And then you can either, so if you tap on that video where the blue arrow is right there, then that opens up that final screenshot that's there. And so you can either record directly right there by tapping on that record icon up at the top, or you can choose one of the videos that you've already got on your phone. And so all of those squares those are videos that are on my phone. So I recorded those. So that's one way you could do it. You could just record yourself or record something that you're doing for your students. It could be a greeting for your students, and then go back into the YouTube app and then just upload from there. So it's really easy and does not take much technical knowledge to be able to do that. So I hope that addresses that question a little bit.
Oh, the slides that I'm just using Google Slides to make my slides, but you can add a lot of fonts. Thank you for noticing the fonts. You can add a lot of fonts to your Google Slides in the fonts screen. I can show you that. And actually somebody else asked if we could see the EdPuzzle password again. Yes, I will put that back up right now. Sorry, it's hard I can't see the questions when I screen share, which is why I'm having to go back and forth. Here is the slide with the classroom join code. This is a sticker from Giphy. But if you click right here, you can add a bunch more fonts. That's easy and nice. Kenneth, while I leave this up, do you want to tell me some of the other questions or talk about some of the other questions yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I was actually starting to type a response to someone who that said, I'm struggling. I feel like I'm just being shown where everything is, and feel like it's not actually that easy. So if there are people that are having that experience, so one thing that I might propose is that you sign up for a quick session with either myself or Sam, just to get a little bit of just some extra help. And if you do that, then we can spend 15 minutes with you or so, just kind of walking you through, taking a look at your screen, or we can share our screen and just give you a little bit of extra personal help, because we don't want anyone to feel like you're left out or it's just too hard.
Yeah, and that office hours sign up, it's teachercentral.ousd.org, and it's right here on the very front page, right in the center.
And then let's see. How do you use two cameras so students can see my face in an instructional video at the same time?
Screencastify allows you to do that. Screencastify allows you, I believe, to have your webcam on and your screen recording on.
Okay. Is your Google slide file shared in OUSD drive? How can people get this slideshow? Sam?
There's a link to the slideshow here at tinyurl.com/OUSD YouTube. Please feel free to share it widely to anybody that you think it might be useful to. And then we will post it to Teacher Central.
Yes, we will. Yeah, I'm sorry I was a little bit late in getting yesterday's up, but yeah, we will have this up by tomorrow at the latest. And then Sam, would you mind just showing one more time how people can sign up for a help session with?
Oh yeah, of course. So this is, sorry, I know that this Zoom bar is kind of blocking it. This is teachercentral.ousd.org. So that is the page that you go to, and this is the home page that you land on. In the second column right here in the middle, it says need support, make an appointment with Kelleth or with Sam for personal help with distance learning. And so then when you click on our names, it takes you to this page that shows our available appointment slots. And so you can click on the day that works for you and select the time that works for you. And then it sends Kelleth or I an email with the calendar invite. And then typically I reply and just say, oh, I'm adding in the conferencing link. Here it is.
Yeah. So here's a question. Is it best to make the video from the phone? Can you use iPads, computers? So I think that just really depends, Sam, on just your preference. I mean, I often like making the video with the phone because it's easier to point around and do stuff with. But
yeah. It works on an iPad, the YouTube app, just like it is for like your iOS on your phone. It's the same app and it'll look the same as in those in this slide. It'll look like that. I'm the opposite of Kelleth. I prefer working on my computer. I think it really is about what makes you feel most comfortable. There's not going to be a difference in quality.
Mm-hmm. Can you upload recorded Zoom video onto YouTube? Yes, you can.
Yes.
Is it preferable to create unlisted videos, or does it not matter in regards to privacy, student safety, etc.?
If it's just you in the video, right, it's your decision. Like, so for example, that Google Slides tutorial explainer video that I made, there's no personal information in it, no kids are in it. It's listed as a public link on my YouTube channel. It's sort of your decision what makes you most comfortable, as long as there are no kids in it, right? And none of us probably will have kids in our videos at this point. But I think if you're feeling unsure or like nervous about privacy, then unlisted is the way to go, because it gives you like a little bit more control over who sees your video. But if you're trying to become an influencer, then obviously you'd want to go with public.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there a way to upload more than 15 minutes of video at a time? I couldn't upload a video that was over 15 minutes.
Yeah, YouTube does restrict the length of your video. The thing that I've heard that I have not tried is that when you go to the upload screen, and I'll find a picture of it, when you are on this screen where you upload, one of these like blue things at the bottom, or no, it's actually up here at the top, says like use the old uploader. And if you use the old uploader, it seems that you can upload longer videos, although I haven't heard for sure if that's true. The workaround for me on our library YouTube channel, you'll see I have a coronavirus Q&A with a doctor that we recorded. I recorded it via Zoom, and I just had to break it into parts, and I put it up in 4 parts. Is another way that's a little less elegant, but you can put all of those parts together in a playlist. So it'll just play part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 is another option.
What video editing app would let me speed up parts of video?
That's a great question that I don't know the answer to, but email me and I'll try to find one.
Yeah, so I use for my screencasts, I use something called ScreenFlow, which is paid application. You can get a trial of it, but you might, so that could be good for if you just need like a kind of like a temporary solution. ScreenFlow. And someone, let's see, Peter just said Adobe Premiere works for that. Yeah, Final Cut Pro would work for something like that. iMovie. Thank you for offering your suggestions also. Appreciate it, participant.
Yeah, no, we are definitely not the sole holders of this knowledge in any way. Somebody asked about how to add the class code on EdPuzzle. Make sure that you click you're a student, and then it'll ask you for the class code.
And then someone said, as far as that question about longer videos, there were steps you could take to load longer videos. You had to go through a verification step. It was super easy, though I don't remember how I got to it.
Yeah, I did not have luck with that myself. So, but that's most likely user error. Oh, this person said they used Photo Booth on their Mac to create videos. That's great. Yeah, Photo Booth is pre-installed. iMovie is fairly easy as well. That comes pre-installed. Mm-hmm. Shorter videos are way more engaging to kids. I do think that's an important point as well.
And maybe since we're still talking, we're starting to get to the end, but maybe I'll just do a screen share real quick, and I'll show you my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel. So, and this has useful resources. I don't talk about this that much, but I've had this channel for a little while. It's called Super Schoolhouse. If you do a search in YouTube for Super Schoolhouse, you'll see my channel come up. And so I have technology videos that are for kids. So this is something that you could share with students, and this take care of your computer. That's a good one for just right now.
Did you make these?
Yeah, I made all of these.
They look so cool.
And then Google training for teachers. So if you're interested in just learning more about Google apps for teachers, there's my Google Classroom, just like mini one. Create a slideshow with Google Slides. That's a good one. Create a quiz with Google Forms. That's really good. And looks like I've got something up there that I didn't mean to put up there. Then there are a couple of like math. These are my most popular ones here. So there's a good one for 2-digit subtraction. Kahoot is a really good resource for right now, so you might want to check that out. And then it's just some other things here too. So maybe have a look, and then you can just kind of see like how you could organize a channel if you want to. You can have different categories.
Those are so professional. You're an influencer.
Well, I was making these last year while I was still a classroom teacher, and I was trying to get a different job, and so it eventually helped get a different job.
Super cool. Somebody mentioned QuickTime. Yeah, QuickTime is I use QuickTime for my screencast, but if you don't have an Apple product, it doesn't come pre-installed, is the only bad news. We got another subscriber, Kelf.
Oh, great.
Is there a way to edit other people's videos? So you can edit other people's videos in EdPuzzle. You can crop them. You can like just take sections out. Is there a way to edit that YouTube clip? EdPuzzle is like the most on the up and up way to do that without, YouTube doesn't let you download videos and edit them. A really, I guess, super hacky piece of advice is you could screen record the video and then edit your screen recording of it. But I would never suggest that in real life. I'm just laughing at the chat. I did see a question earlier about what's happening next week in terms of trainings. I don't know if you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, let me see if I can, maybe I could just post that right now. And I can't remember, actually can't remember if we have that posted right now. If we've posted everything for next week, I'm not sure. So I need to take a look at it. I'm just looking on Teacher Central right now. So the first one that we have, the first one we have next week is supporting ELLs during distance learning. And so that's going to be, I'm really looking forward to that. And Nicole Knight from Elma and her team is going to lead that. Then we are going to have on Tuesday, we're going to have ST Math, which is that's a really great one. ST Math is just a fantastic program that's usually has a paid license, but they've opened it up to everybody. So that would be a really good one. Then let's see, I need to just check my notes for the schedule. I really need to get the schedule up. We've got, on Wednesday, we have Newsella. So that'll be a good one. Newsella is a great ELA program with differentiated articles for students to read. And on Thursday, we have supports for students with IEPs, special education students. That'll be a really good one. And then on Friday, we have MyOn, which is an online library that's also opened up to all OUSD students now. So I'll see if I can type all of that into the chat just so that you know about that. And then we'll get that posted later today. Any other questions that you're seeing that we could answer, Sam?
Sorry, I'm trying to reply to a question. Let's see. I did just see in my email, I got a bunch of calendar requests for one-to-one help. Yeah, please don't be shy to do that. Super Schoolhouse is a non-OUSD account. If you don't, yes, if you did lose your OUSD account, that would be a reason not to use your OUSD account to set up your channel, for sure. Oh, I don't know if he said MyOn on Thursday or Friday. I'm sorry. If our PDs coincide with something else that you need to do or want to do, or like just your actual life during distance learning and teaching, then that is why we always post the recordings. And I think that is an intentional move to model asynchronicity and lots of access. Somebody mentioned QuickTime again. Yeah, QuickTime is really, really good.